Well, hey everyone, it is Sunday again, and here I am. And I have a confession. I have a big problem. Oh my gosh. I have 4 unopened boxes of yarn. One of them is Michael's, and I ordered all the colors that I was using to make all those princess dolls, and I just haven't needed it yet, so I haven't opened the box. One of them is from, I think, Premier, might have been Hirschner's, because I used all my teddy bear making Bigfoot. So I know that is some of the stuff that is in the one order. Another one of them is the Premier Basics Chenille Brights, and one is the one I just did the other day where I ordered a whole bunch of black so that I can make the black cats, and I have my fingers crossed that this is going to be good yarn. So we are going to do a little yarn haul before I show you the plushies that I made. Now, I just cut open the Michael's because that's the one that came in first. And I'm not super happy. So, this is how they sent the one skein of yarn. And it is like, how could you send this to somebody? Blue Shadow is the color. I'm like, at least wrap it up nice. People. Then we have light blue Oomph-a-Loads. We'll just call it light blue. And what is this? It's a weird color. This one is Seed Pearl. Out here, it looks funny in the lighting. And some of these don't feel like, this feels like it has a whole lot more than this. This one is Baby Green. And Peach Pink. Looks kind of like coral to me. And then we have a yellow and a light purple and a white and petrol blue. Kind of looks green. I think this is terracotta. Yes, terracotta. And a mustard. So the terracotta and the mustard was because of the hot dogs. I used pretty much most of what I had. And then all these pastels were to replace what I was using to make all the princess dolls. But I won't make any more of those until they sell. I mean, I liked making them, obviously, because I have like 9 of them or something. So that is the loops and thread order that I did not open. My goodness, this is just rude. So I actually did use some loops and threads. I want to say it's Home Slim because it's black on one of the items I'm going to show you today. And it's really pretty cool. But that was not the nice, soft, silky, smooth yarn that we're used to. Oh gosh, it had that feel kind of like some of the parfait has been. And, you know, when you're working with it, it squeaks. And let me tell you, it hurt my hands to do it. And it took me longer, one, because it was black, and two, because it was like, you're fighting the yarn. It just didn't glide nice and smooth like it normally does, which was one of the things that I've always liked about the Sweet Snuggles Light and the Home Slim and the Parfait Chunky. But it was just one of those skeins. Okay, let me move this box out of the way. Now the next box isn't that big, but this is the one that had the teddy bear, I think. And yes, I should have opened it before I placed my last order. I'm telling you, I have a problem. So it came from Hirschner's. Now, most of y'all know that if you order from Hirschner's, the Parfait Chunky is $1 a skein cheaper than on Premier's website. But they also have a 3-pack that is $10.97, which is what, $3.33 a skein versus $4.99 on Premier. So I went a little crazy. I ordered 9 teddy bear. Now, it's a neutral, it's a popular color. We use it for a lot of different things. And especially if you're gonna do like dogs and stuff like that, it's a great color. Cows, deer, you know, what have you. And then I have 3 toffee. Oh my goodness, I am so glad I didn't order this again in light blue. This is the blue that Sue loaned me, and I forgot I even ordered it. So that was all that was in this one. So that one's not too awful bad. Like a $55 order. So not too awful bad. And this came in, I think, before the first storm. Helene, I think. Might have been Debbie. I don't know. We've had so many I can't keep track. Okay, so that's 2 boxes. So this next one is, I believe, the Chenille Brights. And this one I ordered straight from Premier because the Hirschner's was no price difference on these. And these I got because it's good for the lovies, not to mention the Chunky Mon. Okay, and it's just all kind of tossed in here. So I have 2 for now, 2 navy, 2 emerald, a sage. It's just kind of thrown in here. I think I ordered some colors I haven't had. Winter white, kind of looks like a cream. This is Seafoam, which on one of the chunks it says to use a teal and a light teal, and this is kind of along that line. Got a gray, and this is pewter. And a teal blue. See, these two go nicely together. And mustard, rust, Poppy. Couple of black. Couple of white. I know. Mushroom. Two eggplant. Pretty soon you're not gonna be able to see me. Light blue and seaside. It's another teal. Bubblegum. Yellow, you know, for Pikachu. Two tangerine and three, oh my goodness, three kiwi. Okay. I know, it's a lot. I don't know where I'm gonna put it all. But I need to make room for it on the shelves, or I'm just gonna keep ordering stuff when I already have it because I can't see what I have. Except that, you know, I have a problem and I have to call 1-800-CHARTER. I need to not order any more yarn. And just change colors if I don't have the color. Pick something different. Okay. So that's the one. It came in before the storm. Oh my goodness. One more box. All right, so this one just got here. This one I ordered because I was very low. Like, I think I had one skein of black left. And in order to make the tuxedo cats, I need black. And I'm planning on selling a lot of those. Oh no. It's not the silky kind. Nope. Okay, so I ordered 9 black, and I did the 3 packs. This came from Hirschner's so that I could get the discount. So I got a mustard and this lovely color that I used my last of on that dragon, some dusty mauve. So pretty. And ruby, because I used all my ruby making a different dragon. And plum, very pretty color. See, I wanted some darker colors because to me, in my mind, if I'm making a dragon, the darker colors seem like they're more adult than, you know, like the little seafoam and the coral and all that. It just, like, you can get a totally different look out of the dragons. So I got cream and 6 white. Now the white feels good. cream feels good. The black, I think this one is Seal. Yes, dark gray, Seal, pretty gray, very pretty gray. That has a cat's name on it. And because I didn't open the other box to remember what I ordered, I got another pack of toffee, but this is a good color. And then I ordered a pack of peacock, which is another very pretty color. So I have a crap ton of yarn. I don't know where I'm gonna put it all. I'm a little disappointed. Let me see. I just gotta stick my finger in and touch them. Ruby does not feel silky smooth. I can almost tell by looking at it. Mustard feels very thin and not silky smooth. The Seal feels very thin, or looks thin, feels thin and not very smooth. And the black is not. So some of them feel like old formula, and some of them just have that roughness about it. We're gonna have to deal. If I have to go up a hook size or half a hook size so that I'm not getting squeakiness, I will, and I'll just have to be careful what I pair with it and make sure it's not super thin, or, you know, we'll run into issues. So that is my confession. I have a lot of yarn and I have nowhere to put it, and I need to stop ordering. So I'm gonna have to sit on my hands. But if I sit on my hands, I won't be able to crochet. So, anywho, okay, let me show you what I've made the last few days. I only played with 3 different patterns. One of them I only made 1, one of them I made 2, and one of them I made 6. And I forgot to write down the name of the designers. So I'll have to pop them up on the screen or put them in the description because I forgot my notes. Anyways, so first thing I made was a cat. And I did a calico cat. Now, I was talking to Heather and I said, should I use tangerine or mustard? The pattern says to use mustard, and she said tangerine. I'm not sure still if I like the tangerine or not. I mean, because when I look at Toby, he's not bright orange like that. He's more of a yellowish orange, if that makes sense. And I don't know. It's cute. Gave it orange eyes. I think his nose came out a little big. I might redo that. Color changes weren't too bad. You know, this is the same pattern. It's when you get this pattern, you get like the basic cat with the white face and color, and then she gives you how to do the calico. But you can use whatever colors you want and come up with different cats. So I did that first. Then if I keep making the same thing over and over again, especially ones that take a little bit of time, I get bored with them. So I switched and I pulled out my dragon pattern again. And I showed you last video that I had taken parts from a couple of Shannon's patterns and used them to embellish my plain Jane dragon. Well, I did it again. And I couldn't decide on colors. And a lot of you guys said black. And I'm like, oh my gosh, black, oh. Well, because I didn't have hardly any black left in Parfait Chunky waiting on that order to come in, I decided to use the Home Slim. And this was rough. Now usually with the Home Slim and the Sweet Snuggles Light, I'll use a 6mm hook and I'm fine with it. My tension's okay, I don't have holes. So I did it with the 6mm hook. But this was like squeaky yarn. It was rough on my hands. My fingers haven't hurt in a while, and this hurt my hands. Well, then once I got the body made, I couldn't decide what colors to put with it. Black goes with anything. So I had Jenna pick. She didn't even go in and look. She just named off some colors. So when she said the colors, I brought in, like, I had 2 options for one and 2 options for the other, and then let her pick between those. Well, she picked orange and red. And I made another dragon. So this thing is ginormous compared to the Parfait Chunky. And usually I get a little bit of a size difference using the Sweet Snuggles Light and Home Slim, but this is huge. When I stand the 2 next to each other, this thing is a monster beast. So I did not use fur this time. I used I think, with the exception of this, all of the embellishments came from Zazzy. So we got the tail, little decoration on the tail. We did this. This is the small spikes. Same wings as the last ones. I like them because I can put pipe cleaners in, and that helps them stand up and not be floppy. 2 sets of horns on this one. Now, Jenna didn't pick what parts were going to be what colors. So when she picked the red and orange, and I used poppy and tangerine, first thing I did is I made the horns. And I just picked up red. And I get the horns made, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these look like double horns. So this dragon I'm going to name DeVille. So he gets 2 sets of horns. Then I did the gills and the wings. I had to freehand the chest plate again. This one, because it was so much bigger than the one with Parfait Chunky, I had to come out to 8. So I start with 2. And then increase to 4, increase to 6, to 8, and then I bring it back down and just keep placing the piece up against the dragon's chest until, okay, it's gonna fit now. So I kit everything sewn on, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, wow, he really looks cool with the red and orange. And then I'm like, oh no, I forgot the ears. I forgot to make ears for him. So I pull the black back out and I make an ear, and I'm like, this is really big. It's gonna hide his gills. So I pulled the Parfait Chunky out and did the ears with Parfait Chunky and made them smaller so that the gills still showed. I was like, all that fanciness, I don't wanna hide it behind ears. And then the eyes are 22mm that I ordered. I got them off of Amazon. Sue gave me a link to where you can get the sinker eyes or 3D eyes, whatever you want to call them, off of Amazon instead of having to wait for them to come from AliExpress. And these are the offset pupil. I battled putting these eyes in. Like, it was so hard. And even using my eye tool, it was just really hard. I was like, what is the problem here? And it's not that I abused them before, so I think it's because the yarn was so thick. I mean, it is a lot thicker. It just couldn't like grab on. And I'm like pressing down, putting all my weight on. I finally get them And they shifted a little bit, so he looks a little cross-eyed, but that's okay. DeVille will be fine. So last time, shaking the table, last time when I was showing you the dragons, I think I had 2. Yeah, Shannon's bonus mini dragon, and then my dragon all jazzed up with Shannon's parts. Well, another designer had contacted me on Instagram, and they sent me over their baby dragon pattern. Now, this is not the same baby dragon that everybody's making and putting eggs in, but she did tell me she's making an egg for these, and it's going to be free on Instagram when she has it written up. So I was like, I'll give it a try. Now, when I first saw a picture of it, I thought, looks a little bumblebee-ish because of the tail. So the only change that I did at all on this pattern is I did not stuff the tail, because my mind goes in the gutter and I just can't. I couldn't. It just looked like something that wasn't right. So I made one as a test. See, this is the tail. If you stuff it, it's going to stick straight out. And I know you're seeing what I see. So I didn't stuff it. That way it's a little more movable. Now, this very much reminds me a little of someone else's No-Sew Dragon pattern, but I did not struggle whatsoever getting things to line up. I had to make one adjustment. When I got to the back legs bobble stitch, I had to add one more stitch at the beginning of the round before I started my bobbles for the legs. Everything else lined up just fine for me. So this one was the first one, and it's Big Twist Plush. So I grabbed another color because I was like, all right, that's interesting. I mean, I kind of like this pattern. So I grabbed another one, but this one was Bernat Baby. And I wanted to use variegated so that it had color, but it is so much smaller than the first one. So I was like, all right, I need them to be the same size because I want to test them at the dungeon. So I grabbed another variegated, and it is also Big Twist Plush. So they came out pretty much the same size. And I was trying to pick what color for the wings with all the pretty colors in this one. My yellow didn't match, my orange, the purple, none of those colors matched. I'm like, I don't want to do white. So this kind of sage color green looked like it might be similar to this lighter green. So I picked the sage, and I think it worked out okay. I like that with it. So that gave me 2 that were the same size. So I'm like, well, let me do one in black. But I did not use the Michaels Home Slim. I used, I think it was Bernat Baby and the glitter yellow. So, which I think looks pretty cool. And again, anything goes with black. So now I have 2 smaller ones and 2 of the slightly bigger ones. And I want 3. So, and on the black, I used yellow eyes because, you know, the regular black eyes won't show up. So I went back over to the yarn and I picked out 2 colors, mustard, kind of. It's more of a goldish color than regular mustard, and red. So I did this one, and this is a bigger one. So that gave me 3 of those. And then I just flipped the colors and did the mustard on red. And this gave me a smaller one. So for people who were wondering, is Bernat and Big Twist same size? Not always. Bernat Baby is definitely thinner, and that's what some of those were. And the Big Twist plush is definitely thicker. So I have 3 bigger ones, and just slightly bigger, and 3 smaller ones. And no, I'm not going to have a price difference on them. It's all it is a little extra stuffing, and that's pretty inexpensive. But I wanted them pretty much the same size to go to the dungeon, and then the same size for the market, so that there's no, well, why is this one bigger than that one type of thing. So then the last thing, well, second to the last thing that I made is I did another cat. And this one, I should be doing black and white. But after that dragon and the little dragon, I'd had my fill of black. I did start a black and white one, but it's not finished. My yarn order came yesterday, and all I need is the head. I have the tail and the body's done, and then I just need to make the head, which is pretty quick. But the one that I did yesterday, I decided to do a Siamese. So this one is done in mushroom and chocolate. And at first I was like, oh, those aren't going to go together. But made up, I think they look just fine. Blue eyes, because Siamese cats have blue eyes. At least the pictures that I was looking at on Google. And I just had Googled Siamese cat so that I could see, okay, where are the dark colors at? So obviously the face, the ears, the legs, and the tail. So that's what we did. We did a Siamese. And I almost have a black and white one done. So of these two, which this one looks a little bit smaller because the yarn was thinner than this one, I like this one better. And this one was easier because it didn't have all of the color changes. And that's what I have today. Toby, don't even think about it. You cannot climb on those boxes, son. He'll get up there and then he'll probably leap out at me and try to scare me or something. But that's what I have. So like I said, 3 different patterns, but multiples. This one is really quick. And it's no-sew. Now she tells you when you do the wings, leave a little yarn tail. That way, if you need to tack the wings down, they won't be really floppy. Like these move a little, but they don't flop forward. Some of them I tacked down a little more than others. It was just like whatever my mood was at that second. But that is a very easy pattern. And if you're like me and like to print, the entire thing is only 6 pages. And that's, your cover page and your tester appreciation page and all that. So I select pages. Like I just need the supplies, and the directions. I don't need all the other stuff. But anyhow, that's it. Now I'm going to sit there and go at least clear up 4 shelves. They're not very wide. It probably will not hold all of this. But 4 shelves on one shelf on another, which is very short. I'm going to take all my acrylic yarn, with the exception of black, white, a skein of each, and I'm going to put it in a big giant tote to free up the shelves so that I can see for the yarn that I'm actually using at the moment. I mean, I still use my acrylic. I don't want to get rid of it. But I've been using this stuff. So I need to see what I have, especially if I'm going to make an order so that I don't end up with a bunch of stuff I don't need, because I have a lot. I have a whole lot. It's craziness. Anyhow, I will talk to you guys later in the next video.